What's up, what's up, YouTube? Here to do my predictions for UFC Fight Night, Nelson versus Story. And I'm going to start at the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry about last week. I was just busy with work, so I couldn't do 178. But, I'm going to try to do them all from now on. If I miss them, it's just because I'm busy. I don't try to skip any. It's just, sometimes I'm really busy and I can't get to them. But, here. Let's just get onto this card, right? Alright. Starting from the bottom, we got Ernest Chavez versus Zabir, a Russian. I've got the Russian. I think, Ernest didn't look very good in his last couple of fights, and I think the Russian's up and coming. Next we got another Russian versus Marcin Bandel. And I'm going to pick the Russian again. I think, once again, he looks like a good up-and-comer. I'm sorry I don't know how to say these guys' names, but you can look it up. The way I look it up is I go to Wikipedia. They've got the whole card, so if you want to look at the names, I can't pronounce some of these names. Next we got Thor Chong versus Jotako. And both of these guys, they're just grapplers, really. And they're kind of... neither one of them is like the highest level dude. I don't know if either of them are going to be in the UFC for much longer. Even if they win this one, I mean, neither guy looks like they're that great of the greatest fighters ever. I'm going to pick Thor, but like I said, I mean, even if he wins this one, I don't think either of these guys are UFC level, so they're not going to be around for much longer. Next, we got Cathal versus Ghassan Udalatov, and both of these guys are wrestlers. I think Ghassan has more power. I think Cathal is a little bit more athletic, though. I'm going to pick Cathal. I think his conditioning's a lot better. I think that unless Ghassan wins this in the first round, Cathal's going to win by either 29-20 decision or a late submission. Next we got Dennis Siver versus Charles Rosa. And Charles Rosa's taking this fight in like 10 days. There's no way he's beating Dennis Siver. Dennis Siver is, he's one of the best guys in the world at whatever weight class he fights in. Doesn't matter if he's been off for a while. I mean, Dennis Siver is gonna, he's been training for weeks for this fight, and this guy's only had like a week, maybe less. I'm gonna pick Dennis Siver by TKO. Next we got Nicholas Masok versus Alexander. A lot of Russians on this card, I gotta say. I don't know how to say his last name, but I know he's Russian. I know his name. To me, this fight depends on if Alexander just uses his wrestling. If he uses his wrestling, he can just take Nico down and, hold him down and get the decision. I think if Nico can keep it standing, he can probably win with his striking. And, it's not like he's a slouch on the ground. I just think Alexander can handle. This one's probably the toughest fight in the card to call, in my opinion. But I'm gonna pick Nico, even though I was talking him down a little bit. I think it's really gonna come down to that second round, because I think Alexander's got the better conditioning. But I think Nico's gonna win by split decision. I think it's gonna be really close, though. I think this fight is probably the closest fight on the card. Next we got Magnus Sennenblad versus Scott Arkinson. I got Sennenblad. I think he's, the up-and-comer. He's already fought in the UFC like 3 or 4 times already, and he's won most of them. His only loss, I think, was to Francis Carmont, and he was looking really good in that fight up until he got submitted. So I'm gonna pick Sennenblad. I think he's on the upswing right now, and this is, I think it's Scott's debut, so it's gonna be hard fighting a Swedish guy in Sweden. Next we got on the main card. We got Nicholas Blackstorm versus Mike Wilkinson. I think this is just a fight to, help get Nicholas's name out there. Mike Wilkinson is, pretty much just a submission wrestler. He's a top-heavy guy. He has decent boxing, but I think Nicholas has got the better striking, and I think, if Wilkinson isn't on top, he's probably going to get submitted. So, and Nicholas is really good at creating scrambles. I mean, he won his last fight with that bulldog choke. So I've got Nicholas Blackstorm winning by submission, probably either late first or mid second. Next is Ilir Latifi versus John Blachowicz, and I feel like Ilir Latifi is just gonna be the, you know, more comfortable fighter, I guess would be the best word for it. I think John hasn't fought in a long time, and Ilir has, you know, he just fought a couple months ago. I think he's already fought like 2 or 3 times this year, and since that loss to Gegard Mousasi, he's looked really, really good. So I got Ilir. I think he's gonna win by decision. I just don't think John's gonna be able to stop the takedowns. I think Ilir's just gonna be able to take him down and beat him up. Next we got Akira Kurosani versus Max Holloway, and to me this is like Akira's last fight, where if he doesn't win in the first round, Max is probably gonna finish him in the second. And I don't see Akira winning in the first round. I think Akira's gonna come out really fast and really hard, and Max is gonna be able to keep the distance, and I think he'll be able to light him up with jabs and body shots and stuff, and then come second round, Akira won't be as fast, and he'll just get lit up. You know, even though Akira is a great striker, all of his losses are knockout losses, and it's because, you know, he doesn't have the greatest, you know, I wouldn't say chin, but it's like once he gets hit hard, he kind of crumbles. So I got Max Holloway. I'm going to say late second TKO. Main event, Gunnar Nelson versus Rick Story. And a lot of people are counting Rick Story out, and, you know, I think Gunnar is going to win this fight, but I don't think Rick is as big as an underdog as people are making him out to be. I think Rick could definitely win this fight. I think if Rick goes into this fight like how he fought Johnny Hendricks, and he just really keeps Gunnar against that fence and just throws a lot of body shots, and, you know, just keeps this fight really close to the fence, he could win this fight. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think Gunnar's probably going to get a finish before he starts getting tired. I think Gunnar's going to win by second round or naked choke, but, you know, I think the longer this fight goes, the better chance Rick Story has of winning it. I think if he can do what he did against Johnny Hendricks and just keep this fight against the fence and land a lot of body shots, I think he could finish Gunnar. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think Rick Story is as big as an underdog as people are making him out to be. Alright, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll have my review up. I'll have my predictions up for Saffiedine versus McDonald in a little bit. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.